compression water system activated. 13 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, main engine 4, 3, 2, 1.
Serve hard time.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about that. We'll serve
eventually.
hard time. But, hey, everybody, welcome to Ringside Review. We've got a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to introduce my host, the artist, Seth Holbrook.
And I'm going to introduce my host, the
Your
king
host?
of...
Your
yeah,
co-host.
my co-host. Well, technically
Did I say
yours.
host?
You're the host, Niall, but my other
co-host.
There are other co-hosts, the king of hardstyle, Mike McBride.
The king of hardstyle. What does it say on my shirt?
The king of strong style. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Hardstyle.
The king of strong style. It's been a crazy
Ladies and
weekend.
gentlemen, I am the king of hardstyle.
Yes,
I'd like
he's
to
also the
make
king of
that clear
hardstyle.
right now. First of all, I want to congratulate you, Seth. You are our new pay-per-view champion.
Thank you. Thank you.
You had
Thank
the
you.
most picks right
Absolutely.
for the Royal Rumble. You narrowly beat out Manny of the In Your House Sports Podcast, which is also can be found on iRadio Waco. So congratulations. I came in third. I tied with Sanchez from the Michael McBride show.
Oh, well, hey. Can't win them all.
So, yeah, you
But
can
the point
if you try hard.
That's true. But the point is we still have it. It is still at home.
It's still at home.
Where it belongs on Ringside Review.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about, so we're going to get right to it. The Royal Rumble was last night. 2018 Royal Rumble. Overall, Seth, on a scale of 0 to 10, where do you rate?
I rated a 9. It was almost a 10, but I give it a 9.
I don't know if I'd go that high. I'd say a 7, maybe an 8.
7 or an 8?
Just because Ronda Rousey kind of hijacking the show.
That's why it went to 9.
Everything.
That and the slop drop triple threat match.
Yeah,
was not good. Was not good.
Well, the match order was all out of whack.
Oh, it was.
Their whole big thing was they wanted so hard to make the women's Rumble such a big deal.
Yeah.
That they kind of forgot that, it's just maybe there's other things going on, Yeah, I did.
Well, halfway through the pay-per-view, the audience was already out of it. I mean, they were just done after the men's Royal Rumble.
Well, here's the thing. You knew it was going to be a long night.
Yeah, I was. Because
of 2 Rumbles. And quite frankly, the women's Royal Rumble, I had little interest in that. I don't know. I watched a little bit of it and just got bored just watching it. And
because
then
you don't like that type of wrestling.
I was happy to see Asuka win it.
Yes.
And so that was like the one good thing to me was that Asuka won it. And then all of a sudden, Ronda Rousey comes out for no reason and then points to the WrestleMania sign for no reason.
Let's show what she did. Come on.
And she had no idea what to do. It was almost like they gave her in the script, they told her, we need you to go out there and we need you to point to the sign.
Am I getting it right?
I don't. I'm showing a picture of Ronda Rousey right now. We need you to go out there. We need you to point to a sign, and that's it. Just do that, and you'll be all right.
That's it.
And then she's like, well, okay. And then she went out there and did that, and then it's like nobody told her what else to do, so she just kept doing that.
That's it.
Yeah, it was not. It really sucked. And we were talking about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The whole pointing to the sign is just so incredibly played out.
Yeah.
It's so tacky now. It's cliche. It's dumb.
It's done. It's finished. She did it. She killed it.
I don't know. Well, I think it was dead before then. And your girl's over here making interesting comments.
Well, she's telling the truth. It's one thing I love about her. She tells the truth.
Where is she? Why aren't you on this show? Come on.
She's got to take care of our new puppy. We got
Jennifer. We need that female demographic. That you don't.
We just got a new puppy, actually.
You don't need a puppy.
Well, we just got one, and her name is Oscar.
Give it up for adoption.
Yay!
Yeah, you don't need it. All right, so Jennifer, if you're not going to be here tonight to help us with that ever so needed female demographic.
What of her?
Like, are you saying if she comes in here and she stops watching, we lose all our female viewers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that what you're saying? So it's your job to like share and promote this video. I think that's fair enough.
I think it's totally fair enough. Yeah. She will.
So that's your job. You have to spread the word on Ringside.
Mike, I'm gonna get in trouble when I get home. Anyway,
you were in trouble before.
No, I was already in trouble.
Yes.
I was already in deep shit.
We are the only live podcast that comes on right after Raw.
That's
on
right.
Monday nights. I think that's something special, and we do it in such a nice studio. I was just telling the guys last week on my other show, we need to have some kind of like decor in here because it's just I hate these bland walls and just there's that. When I first started doing my own podcast, I used to bring in bobbleheads and stuff. And I used to have some kind of. I wanted it to look kind of lively in here instead of just drab because people are going to stare at this. But anyway.
Well, we could put I don't know, maybe a green screen and say that we're in the ring.
Green screen and we can do green screen technology. And we might have something like over your shoulder or something.
Over shoulder looks like I'm watching a wrestling match.
We'll experiment with that after we experiment with each other. Anyway, so let's break down the Royal Rumble.
Break it down.
Because we have a lot to go through here.
Yes, we do, folks.
Or we can just talk more about nonsense if you want. No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of that's not nonsense, we do have a special guest.
Yes, we do. What we've just found out tonight, he is a Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show for technically the first. He was in our Rumble last week. For the hell of it, let's say he won it somehow. Ladies and gentlemen, one half of the Hall of Fame team, the Dudley Boys. It's Devon Dudley. Viva. Testify.
Devon, it's good to see you, brother. I'm glad you made it all the way back from Dudleyville.
Now I don't have to get the tables for anybody. It's great.
And congratulations on winning.
I can hire somebody to get the tables now.
Royal Rumble this year. We can put that down now.
I want Deacon Batista to induct me.
Makes sense.
Go back to your show.
Okay, yes, sir. Testify. Absolutely,
Thank
brother.
You, Devon, for that. So we found that out tonight. It's just
I'm happy about it.
I had a prediction of all the
no, that was gas.
All the inductees that I thought was going to go in this year, and I think it was the Dudley Boys was on that list. I think Goldberg was too, so I'm 2 for 2, I believe. So
yep. What I'm just impressed about is now, even though she's passed on, well, maybe in the future, not this year or maybe next year, is that China might be inducted in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think. Here's the thing: with good reason, they would love to have the actual person there at the Hall of Fame ceremony instead of posthumously or whatever. And I think it's got to be one of the women who just competed in the Rumble or was on Monday Night Raw last week. So I think there's strong candidates. Depending on if Molly Holly,
she was great, by the way.
If they're interested in bringing her back,
I say yes.
I was thinking, well, she could probably go in the Hall, and then I thought, well, they probably just want her to come back, full time. Who knows?
Did you like her spot in the Royal Rumble?
I just saw the one thing where she flipped
She did her finisher.
From the top rope.
Yeah,
I think Michelle McCool is another strong candidate for Hall of Fame.
Very. She dominated that Women's Royal Rumble for a while.
Even though she really didn't do much in her career, honestly. I mean, she was co-champion with Layla.
She just gave birth to,
I think the reason they had her dominate so much in the Rumble, which I didn't even see her in the Rumble, quite frankly, is just make it look like she did something to earn her place in the Hall.
Yeah. Not only that, Michelle McCool's also what do you call it? Married to the
Undertaker.
Yeah, that's right. Married to the Undertaker. So of course she was dominating, just like Undertaker would. Big boots. That's all she did, and then clothesline. She cleaned out house.
I think
for a bit.
other two you might see in the Hall. So I think it's going to come down to four. It's going to come down to Holly, Michelle McCool, Kelly, or Tori Wilson are going to be this year's Hall of Fame inductees.
I can see that.
I think I'm strongly leaning toward Tori Wilson.
Yeah, so am I.
Who still looks amazing.
She hasn't aged at all. It's just she's a fitness fitness therapist or something like. She takes care of herself very well, very good.
So Tori Wilson is our woman that goes in. Dudley's are the tag team. Goldberg's your headliner.
Yeah.
Now you got to start thinking mid-carders, the Coco Bewares. And
yeah. Oh,
so this is the way they usually do it. They usually do a headliner, a tag team, a female, a WCW legend, an Attitude Era legend, and then miscellaneous.
A mid-carder.
Which is basically
very
like
well
theater
known.
long or something like that. Yeah. Miscellaneous. So I'm thinking the WCW legend, I hope is Vader.
God, they need to.
I really hope it's Vader.
After what you've told me, and I've seen pictures of him recently, it's just a matter of time. He needs to be in there.
But they may hold off on that because Goldberg is technically their WCW legend this year and headliner. He's kind of,
Yeah.
The Attitude Era. Let's see, they did Godfather a couple of years ago. Have they done Farouk? Yeah, they did. They did him a couple
Farouk
of years ago.
and a part of the APA.
Oh gosh.
Because what's his name? What do you call it? Bradshaw inducted him into it.
Val Venus.
Ooh, I could see Val Venus.
Yeah, I could see them going with Val Venus. Maybe Hurricane because he just came back.
He was there.
Anyway,
have they gotten Rey Mysterio?
Well, I think Rey Mysterio's coming back.
Oh, I think he's coming back full time.
I think he's coming back.
I think he's here to save 205.
Yeah, probably. I wanted to go over something real quick because we haven't even talked about the men's Rumble yet, and our boy Shinsuke Nakamura is the Royal Rumble winner for 2018. I
was so happy about this. I like how you talked about on the 25th anniversary of Raw a couple of weeks ago, like how you teared up when they showed Stone Cold and you remember the old times. I felt like that when Shinsuke finally won. It's like they finally listened to the universe, the WWE universe. They finally listened to the fans.
I was really surprised by this because I thought they had given up faith on
Shinsuke. I thought I did too. Yeah. I honestly thought it was going to be either Finn Balor or Roman Reigns, pushing towards Roman Reigns because that's what the company wants. So
yeah, I kind of had a feeling it wasn't going to be Roman, just because there's other ways they can get him into the main event without him winning the Royal Rumble, especially since they were in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
And all the bad experience they had the last time. But it was such a good feeling to see Shinsuke win.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that kind of sucked was it was in the middle of the show.
That's it.
That was what sucked about this year's Rumble, is the men's Rumble was in the middle. And quite frankly, and this is no offense to the women's, I had no interest in that women's match. And I think it's because they had to go and find a bunch of legends.
Yes.
In this match, and that's kind of that's all they had because they don't have enough women on the roster. It's like when they do the men's, they have to open up it's like they have to tell people like Zack Ryder, you can't go in this.
Not this year
because we need to make room for
Mojo.
Rey Mysterio or something.
Rey Mysterio or something. Yeah.
But I mean, here's the problem with the women's Royal Rumble. Here's the big problem. Can I say the word midget? Is midget okay? I think midget is back to being acceptable.
I just call dwarfs or little people.
Well,
Whatever
you
you
know
want
why
to.
you never see a midget
call him Wee
Royal
Man.
Rumble?
How come?
Do the logistics in your head. Trying to
Okay.
get a little person over the top rope.
Okay.
Women are naturally shorter than men. Okay?
Yeah.
So for them to have to go over the top rope, like I was watching, even Nia Jax,
Yeah.
she had to help herself eliminate herself because the ropes, they're so tall for women. They have to go. I mean, God forbid Alexa Bliss had been in that match, as short as she is. Somebody she would have had to climb in. And I saw, I think one of the Bella twins was climbing over the rope and trying to get herself over. It was like, it just looked so bad, whereas men, they're taller so they can go over the rope. It's just the facts. It's not like I'm being like a woman hater or anything. It's just that it's not designed for shorter competitors.
Like you said, shorter comparison. It wasn't built or formatted for them. Yeah. It was for the men.
This is why in years past we've had women's battle royals. It wasn't over the top rope. It was just
always under. Yeah, it was always under the second rope. They've always done it that.
Or whatever. Just fly out. So I just wanted to go over you real quick.
Okay.
The men's Rumble match.
Yes.
I talked to you about this earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
What I think made this match so special is how many future Hall of Famers were in this match. Like, you can pretty much guarantee. Now, you got to keep in mind the WWE's standards on Hall of Fame is a little less than, let's say, like the baseball Hall of Fame or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through each competitor. You tell me if you think they're Hall of Fame worthy.
Fame or lame? There you go.
Okay. Rusev.
Fame.
Finn Balor.
Oh, God, yes. Yes, fame.
Rhino.
Yes, fame.
Baron Corbin. Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner and a Money in the Bank winner.
He
and
will
a
be.
U.S. title
He will
winner.
be. He will be. He still has a long way to go.
Heath Slater.
Yeah, for that mid-Carter Hall of Fame like we were talking about.
I think he's on the fence.
Yes.
I think he's on the fence. I think he's got to do something special because right now
he won the tag team belts
he's
with Rhino.
Enjoyable, but
Rhino
really
was like one of the
he won the tag team titles when he's in the Nexus as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but Rhino,
I think it's still really iffy.
Alumni. Yeah.
Elias still too soon.
Too soon, but he's got a great future ahead of him.
Andre Cien Almas from NXT
just started
too soon, but he has. It looks really bright.
I saw the highlights of his match this weekend. It was really good.
Bray Wyatt, definitely,
absolutely.
Big E, I think he goes in with New Day.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
Sami Zayn.
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
Because he was the new underdog. He was the new Daniel Bryan, the one who never won, but you always rooted for.
I think he's still. I don't think he's quite there yet.
He's not there yet, but he's on his way. Is what I'm saying.
It's possible.
He's a great character. I love him as a heel.
By the way, he went in. He took Ty Dillinger's spot.
10 spot. Ty Dillinger was 10.
Is Ty Dillinger still in the Rumble technically?
You mean like
Curtis Axel?
Like Curtis Axel?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's still in the Rumble.
I still think he's in it. Maybe.
Sheamus, yes,
definitely. Oh God, yes.
He's
Sheamus.
won everything. United States, World Heavyweight, WWE, King of the Ring, Tag Team,
actor,
Royal Rumble. Rumble. He'll definitely go in.
Yeah, he'll go in.
Xavier Woods, I think yes, as a
part
of New Day. Yeah.
Yeah, especially his personal life. Yeah.
Apollo Crews, he's still early. It's still early. It's still early for him. He could have a chance. Nakamura. I think before last night it was on the fence. Now that he's won a Rumble, he's definitely
going in.
Yeah. Cesaro, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Kofi as a part of New Day. Even without New Day, Kofi earned it.
That's true. When he was with Airborne.
I'm thinking all his Intercontinental Championship wins, all his U.S. title wins.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal, yes, I think so.
The biggest wrestler from India. Yeah.
Seth Rollins, yes, no question about that. Matt Hardy, no question, he's in there. John Cena, maybe. No, John Cena's definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely. He's already. He could be in the Hall of Fame this year, and he would still, be part of the roster.
The Hurricane,
he'll be there.
Aiden English, he has time. It's not like
he needs to hurry up.
It's not like he's like, gosh, who am I thinking of that has like like no chance, but it's been in there a while. I can't even think. But he needs to do something. So anyway, Adam Cole, he hasn't really done anything in WWE yet.
Not yet, but he's a huge name in the independent circuit and Ring of Honor.
Randy Orton, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Titus O'Neil, he still has time.
He still has time.
The Miz, definitely.
Oh, God, Wrestler of the Year, Rolling Stone.
Rey Mysterio, definitely. Roman Reigns, definitely. Goldust, if he doesn't, we'll start a riot.
That's right.
Dolph Ziggler, definitely. So, out of all those names, let me go over a list of the iffy ones. Let's see. Titus O'Neil, Adam Cole, Aiden English,
Apollo
Crews, Sami Zayn, I consider iffy. Andrade Almas and Elias. 7. So 23 are of the 30 were guaranteed Hall of Famers. That's pretty incredible.
That was a good paper.
That was a good match.
They didn't. It wasn't a gimmick Royal Rumble. They didn't have that many. They didn't have that many. Like special. Surprise. Like entries coming in or stuff like that. Like they normally did in the past. It's pretty much the roster, except for maybe one or two.
They had a couple with the Hurricane.
Well, it was Hurricane and Rey Mysterio. That was it. The rest were either from NXT or.
But I liked that. I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm glad they saved Hurricane for this instead of using him for Raw 25, which I'm pretty sure they would have been able to do.
Yeah.
So it's good they did that. We have new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yes, we do.
So that kind of caught me off guard. Didn't catch you off guard because I think you chose the bar.
I chose them. It made the way the story is, it makes so much sense. There's no Dean Ambrose there, so Seth Rollins every week, because like I said, I watch the Raw every week. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan just don't connect. They don't. And Jason Jordan is becoming the crybaby that he portrays very well.
They're making him into a really good heel right now.
They are right now. So the bad part is this.
It's a different kind of heel.
Yeah.
It's not like one of those, I'm a badass, I'm going to kick your ass, and blah, blah, blah. He has his own style. So
yeah,
like
unfortunately, the bad part is you're going to have a mediocre match for an outstanding performer like Seth Rollins. It's going to be him versus Jason Jordan at WrestleMania.
I don't know. Jason Jordan's pretty athletic. He can go.
I mean, they can, but it's just, dude, if the original plan didn't happen, would have happened, it would have been somewhat okay for WrestleMania this year. Dean didn't get hurt. Roman didn't get sick. They all had the belts. Huh?
What was the original plan?
What they wanted to do was have Seth and Dean retain the titles, and then one of them had the IC belt, which was Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania and defeating Brock Lesnar and having the Universal Championship. That's what Vince McMahon wanted originally. Dirt sheets and everything. But since everybody got hurt, everybody got sick, and there goes the push.
Another thing that's happened since we've last done a show is Enzo Amore has officially been terminated.
Bye-bye.
As of our last show, he was just suspended.
Yeah.
But now he's gone. And we talked about this.
I ain't even angry.
We talked about this on my Wednesday night podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, he knew that there was an investigation going on about him since October, and he didn't tell his employer about it.
And that's what got him fired,
and he's a public figure.
Yeah.
That's what got him fired. It's not the accusation. It's that there was an investigation. And I feel bad for the guy because I know he's probably thinking, this investigation is going to prove that everything's bogus eventually, so there's probably not even a reason to tell my boss about it because it's embarrassing or whatever. So, and we've reviewed the evidence supporting his side of the story, or what we assume is his side of the story because he's denying everything.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really said much outside his lawyer. But yeah, it looks like he's innocent.
Done.
Yeah, he's innocent.
But but speaking of people who were charged, on the other aspect of 205, Swan has been cleared of all charges. Rich Swann has been cleared of all charges, and they're actually looking at his contract to bring him back to 205.
It's going to be awkward to bring Swan back. Probably even more awkward to bring back Enzo eventually, which I think they're going to do. I think they're going to bring back. Although, yeah,
Not
who
anytime
knows?
soon. Not anytime soon.
He had such bad blood
With everybody.
before this incident happened.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Seth, let me ask you something. Did you like Jonathan Coachman returning?
Yes, I did.
Tonight?
I loved it.
I didn't like him replacing Booker T. I thought he should have replaced Corey Graves. Or better yet, replaced Michael Cole.
Oh, Michael
That would have
Cole's
been awesome.
That would have
Yeah.
been great, but Michael Cole's not going anywhere.
If he would have replaced Michael Cole, I would have been okay with Corey Graves and Booker T.
Yes, I would have too. That would have been the perfect right there, but he's not going anywhere.
I can understand why they replaced Booker T because he's kind of a train wreck behind the microphone.
He is.
Yeah, he says some really crazy stuff.
And him and Corey always go at it. It's like, are you
I
guys
enjoy that though. I
do.
enjoy Booker T's nonsense.
That's
I
what
think
makes
it's
it so good. Color commentary. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the persona, the personality, the funny guy, or
It's just weird to me that it's like WWE's like, we got to have one black guy.
I know, right?
It's weird. It's weird, and it looks really transparent because
big time.
you have guys that shouldn't be there, like David Otunga and Byron Saxton,
And
who are just terrible.
They're just terrible. They're just boring sticks in the mud. I mean, come on. Put
And
some
I'm not
pizzazz
saying
into
that
it.
just because they're black.
No,
because
I'm not.
we've already established Booker T is an excellent, and Jonathan Coachman's excellent too.
Jonathan
so,
is probably one of the best commentators I've ever heard.
So it has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that they're kind of put out there because of that, and it's just kind of sucky.
Yeah, it does.
I do wish though Corey Graves would just get one show. Not that I have any issues with Corey Graves. I actually enjoy Corey Graves as a color commentator, and I think that him and Morrow would be an excellent team.
That would be I'd watch it be very good.
I just wonder what they're going to do with Morrow, but I can understand the WWE not really wanting to put Morrow Ronaldo on the main show.
Yeah.
Because they can't trust him because
No.
he's mentally not healthy. And I'm serious. He might have just a mental breakdown. So they have to put him in a situation where he's comfortable because he was in a situation where he wasn't comfortable with JBL, and they had to remove him with that. It's like, well, what are they going to do? He's proven he can call WrestleMania because he called WrestleMania.
Oh, he did a great job.
Before?
But like you said,
from their perspective, I don't blame him. But it's a shame though because I really enjoy. Even though he's blocked me on Twitter.
Yes, he has. That is true. He has.
It pisses me off, but I still like him as an announcer. I think he's the best one since Jim Ross. Honestly, he actually sounds like he cares when he's watching. Unlike Michael Cole, who's like trying not to lose his job.
Oh God, yeah.
And we talked about the botches tonight.
There was two botches.
Two botches. Sasha Banks banged her head,
Ooh,
which is really weird because if you look back on it, if you look back on the botch, Asuka goes for some kind of kick.
She goes for a roundhouse. Yeah, she goes for a side. Side
I'm just
kick.
wondering how was that supposed to go because it didn't look like it was very safe.
Didn't look like it was very safe to begin with. Period.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
Well,
at
and then
that
she was
point.
going to dive in between the, like how Seth Rollins does. Go against the ropes, jump through in between the top and the middle rope, and there, and then
Sasha Banks has the biggest forehead. I've
Asuka
ever
turns
seen.
around and gives her a forward kick.
Like she makes my forehead look small. That is the biggest forehead.
And then Sasha Banks just falls flat down.
Like, guys are always
Boom.
drooling all over Sasha. I just think she looks like an alien, man. That big forehead.
Ember Moon's hot. Sasha's not.
Man, can we talk about Ember Moon?
Yes,
and
we
the
can.
NXT Women's Championship match. Oh my goodness, that was such a. By the way, you're racist for bringing up Ember Moon when we're talking about Sasha Banks. Anyway, that was such a good match. Did you see any of NXT Takeover this year for Philadelphia?
I watched the Ember Moon match a little bit off and on because I was at work, but then I did see the tag team match where it was the what do you call it?
It was the Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain, thank you, versus the
Undisputed.
The Undisputed Era. That's what it was.
But anyway, back to the that was such a good match. If you guys have a chance, go back and watch NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. Skip to the Women's Championship match because that was the match of the weekend, and that includes the Rumble matches and the Championship matches. Whatever. Ember Moon, they made that so good. And what was her opponent's name? Baszler? I forget the woman's. Sandra Baszler, I think her name was. she did such a good job. She was such a good heel.
Oh yeah.
And they've been doing
call
that
it the Queen of
thing
Spades?
where she twists the wrestler's hand around.
Oh yeah,
and she
then
puts it and then she stomps on it. It just looks so vicious. And she did that to Ember earlier in the match, and she kept working the arm, and Ember had to power through it.
And she sold it. She did great.
I thought Ember was gonna do like one of the pass out spots, and they're gonna have a new champion, which I'm glad she retained.
Yes,
because she hasn't had the title for that long.
Yeah,
I want to see her have a little lengthy title run.
This isn't over yet between the two. After the match, of course, she attacks her. Puts her in a submission chokehold.
I'm thinking they might do a thing where she has to relinquish the title because of an injury. Because it looked like one of those serious things. So that was excellent. Adam Cole versus Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black is, I think, my favorite NXT wrestler right now.
Oh, I can't wait for him to come up to the roster.
He's so much fun to watch.
He's metal. I want to see Authors of Pain.
Original.
I want to see Authors of Pain on the main roster because the tag team division for both sides, Raw and SmackDown, have no opponents. There's nobody left right now. If you watch the, like I said, on Royal Rumble, we're going back to when the Usos, when it was 2 out of 3 falls against Shelton Benjamin and
I only saw a little bit of that. I read that they were going to do
Chad
2
Gable.
out of 3.
It was a 2 out of 3,
I checked out.
It was only like a 20-minute match. It was double. They won. They counted them out. They double pinned. They won both. They never scored a point. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Yeah. So it was just like, what? That was my WTF moment. He was like, that's it. That's all we. Wow.
The main event of NXT Takeover Philadelphia was Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Almas, and it was a pretty good match. I mean, it wasn't the best match of the night, but it wasn't the worst. It was okay. There's so many good matches that night. It was like everybody was trying to top each other. I tell you which match that I liked, and I hate to say this about anybody, especially considering my physique. Cassius Ohno, he either needs to start wearing some pants or lose a little bit of weight.
Oh, because
he's got those legs. He's got that cottage cheese thing going on in his legs, and it's like, dude, just wear some pants. And it's weird. He wears those basketball jerseys.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I just think he'd be okay if he wore some pants. I think he'd be okay.
He needs to change his gear up a little bit because he looks like a backyard wrestler. That's all he does.
He really does.
He looks like a backyard wrestler from the late 90s.
He's better than that.
He is. He's way better than that.
He's better than that.
I've seen the matches when he's known as Chris Hero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Hero. When he wrestled CM Punk, and those matches were phenomenal. They were amazing, and it's just he was in a better physique. It's like, dude, you're in the WWE now. You should able to just throw it out. Just like, I mean, you got long blonde hair, you've got the beard and everything, the physique, the tallness. You could be like the next Thor, the next Chris Hemsworth or something. That type of attitude and look.
Of course, his opponent that night was Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Which we haven't really talked about Velveteen Dream as long as we're doing the show.
The new Gold Dust.
Yeah, a lot of people are wanting them to face each other at WrestleMania. It's way too soon for Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Although the fans love him. Which is really weird because he's so gay. He's so gay, but the fans,
yeah.
I think fans, the wrestling marks, who I don't like most
and it's
marks.
Let's just go back to the same case. If any of our audience members are like, well, what does that have to do with it? We don't hate him because or anything like that. It's just that he just openly, he doesn't care in the world. He's like, yes, I'm here and I'm fabulous and I can kick your ass.
The point I was trying to make was that I think a lot of wrestling fans get the stigma of being sort of backwards and kind of
country
uptight and conservative and intolerant. But the wrestling fans are so supportive of this guy.
Yeah.
It's really kind of nice, but
I think it's great.
What's really saying something is they're booking him as a heel, but he's getting over. And with that gimmick, that would not happen 20, 30 years ago.
Oh, God, no. What do you mean?
2018 is a different time.
Yeah, it's not 1988, it's 2018.
Everybody's got to make a living. If this is making him a living. Do you think the guy has to be gay in real life, right?
I thought he was.
I don't know.
Oh, if he isn't or not, I don't care. The point is he kicks ass. He's a great wrestler.
I think it's weird when like guys portray gay characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like, if I was like a guy like who was like Orlando Jordan, like who really is gay.
Yes.
Like wouldn't you get mad? Like that could be me doing that. I could do that gimmick. You're not. You're just pretending.
You're just pretending. I'm the real deal, right? Yeah.
But,
well, he's an anti-hero. He's
They did this. They did
great.
this. They did this spot at the beginning of their match. Cassius Ohno and Velveteen Dream. Where Velveteen Dream guaranteed before the match he was going to knock out the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, within like I think he said like 30 seconds or something like that. And like he gets a good hit in on Cassius Ohno. Cassius goes down. And then instead of pinning the guy, he starts jumping up and down and telling the ref to count him down. But the ref won't count. This is what drives me crazy. I felt bad for Velveteen Dream because the ref should have been counting.
Yeah, should have
done the standing 10 count or whatever. And he didn't do that. He kept checking on the wrestler, and the Velveteen's going, count him. Count him. But it was like the commentator's like, why doesn't he just pin him? And it's like, because he guaranteed a knockout,
That's part. I know. It's like, don't you guys listen to the subject matter? Especially of the player, Velveteen Dream. Like I said I would do this. Just go with it, and then we can go on to the next movement. Of the match.
All right, so I caught a little bit of Monday Night Raw tonight. Seth, can you fill us in on what are some of the highlights from Monday Night Raw?
Monday Night Raw. Okay, Monday Night Raw. We were back in...
I'll try not to cry during when you recap the main event.
Thank you. Philadelphia, once again. So that's
Born and raised.
It's playgrounds. He spends most of his days, guys. Opening video package of Asuka winning the Royal Rumble as she's choosing who's going to wrestle... Who she's going to at WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey shows up. Why? We don't know. Robbing Asuka for a moment. All she does is point. Hold on. Not done yet. Point. Okay. Next, we're back. They show the announce table, and then everyone's like, by the way, Jonathan Coachman is back on Monday Night Raw full time. It's good to see you, Coach. We're all glad you're here. Everyone was shaking hands, all that stuff. They go on and talk about... There's going to be an Intercontinental Championship rematch of The Miz versus Roman Reigns. Then you're going to have qualifying matches for the upcoming Raw pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber. And there's going to be 3 qualifying matches. One was a last man standing match between Braun Strowman versus Kane. The other one was Woken Hardy versus Elias. And the main event for the program itself, John Cena versus Finn Balor. So the first match we get to is, of course, the last man standing match for qualifying for the Elimination Chamber. Braun Strowman and Kane.
What happened? I knew they flipped over the table.
He flipped over the announcer's table from the ramp onto Kane.
And that's what stopped Kane from getting out.
That's what, yeah. And then that was the last man standing match. It was over with. Kurt Angle, of course, was like,
is that what they started Raw off with?
Yes. They started with that, and it was over with.
Wow.
Then after that is Who Wants to Walk with Elias. Of course, I raised my hand in the living room. I do, because we do.
They're putting Elias in there over Matt Hardy. I hope they do something with him and Bray Wyatt.
I think
it just seems to be such a waste,
I'm tired of this already. I know how you and I were talking about this. Like, man, this is going to be epic. It's going to be a great fight between good versus evil. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. But it's just. I don't think they don't know what they're doing. I don't think they have an idea what they want to do.
You don't think the WWE knows what they're doing?
No, they just don't know what to do. They don't know. They don't have a clue yet. Just like they don't with Ronda Rousey.
It's just
they just don't know.
Classic WWE then.
Yeah. But Elias wins because of distraction from Bray Wyatt from the Titantron. Of course, Bray Wyatt starts laughing and laughing.
So
they're continuing their fight again.
Are you surprised to see Elias in the Elimination Chamber?
Yes. Yes, I am.
It's pretty.
I'm happy for him. Hopefully,
he's moved up pretty fast.
I was talking to Jennifer about this thing earlier tonight when we were watching Elias wrestle. Like, I could see Elias with a championship this year, whether it's tag team or Intercontinental or maybe he goes to SmackDown. Who knows? But the point is, I can see him be a champion, not Universal, but on his way up. So,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is Elimination Chamber a Raw pay-per-view this year? Or?
Yes, it is. Because Fastlane.
It was a SmackDown one last year.
Last year, and Fastlane was Raw.
Are they just switching back?
I think they're just switching now. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. So after that, you have Braun Strowman and you have Elias as your two competitors for the Elimination Chamber. And then they also announced there's going to be a women's Elimination Chamber match. So Alexa Bliss has to defend her title since she didn't at Royal Rumble. She'll have to defend her title at the first ever women's Elimination Chamber.
They didn't talk about qualification matches for that, which was interesting.
No, they didn't. They were just going with the men now.
I wonder what they're going to do there.
Yeah. Well, after that, Miz has a backstage promo, talks to Philadelphia, and tells them, like...
Born and raised.
Yep. Where he's going to defeat Roman Reigns like he did last time. And he makes a comparison
And
just like... Yeah. Spoilers. Just like how Tom Brady's going to defeat the Eagles again at the Super Bowl. I'm
glad he said that because I didn't hear a lot of people bringing up the Super Bowl this past weekend.
Oh God! But you looked at it on Facebook and everything.
No, I mean,
they were like the crowd.
Let me rephrase that. They brought up the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Except I didn't hear any heels trying to go for the heat that way, trying to say, like, oh, your Eagles are going to lose, or the Patriots are going to come in here and they're going to.
Well, we all know Vince
whatever.
But yeah, we all know Stephanie, Triple H, and Vince and all them. They're Patriot fans. They're all from there, from Connecticut. So
I don't know. I would have just thought it would be like such an easy thing for the heel.
Oh, it would be absolutely.
To do.
I laughed. I thought it was great. I was like, thank you, Miz.
Did it.
I was like, thank you, Miz, on that one because I don't like the Eagles. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, you had the match there. Intercontinental Championship rematch from last week, Roman Reigns versus IC champ The Miz. The Miz retains. He is still the IC champ. Then we cut to a commercial where the Revival versus, and then they cut to another commercial. And then we go back and they're already in match form. They're already wrestling. It was a Revival versus Rhino and Slater. These awkward commercial cuts that Raw's doing or who's ever in the trailer, it's tearing me apart. I don't like it. I don't know why. You know what I mean? It just doesn't add right on these commercials. Anyway, Revival wins squash match. Of course, they're going up against Rhino and Slater.
They did a nice little promo afterwards.
Oh yeah. I could see
what happened
them
next? Oh, it was Asuka versus
Sasha Banks. This was actually a very good match. This was a pay-per-view quality match, except for that one botch of falling out of the ring.
Banks had her brain scrambled.
Pretty much. But other than that, Asuka won. So it took about 30 minute match. It should have been a pay-per-view and it should have had a belt involved. But hopefully they'll learn next time. Next, we had Cesaro and Sheamus versus Titus Worldwide for the Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, and people were surprised that this was for the tag titles. I was surprised too. I don't know why.
I don't know
why you wouldn't build this up at least 1 week.
Yeah, well, Michael Cole, and of course, if you watch Raw every weekend, Titus Worldwide has beaten Cesaro and Sheamus twice, back to back.
I get that, but
so
I
guess that entitles them.
I don't get why you would need to.
But I guess that entitles them for a tag team championship. I don't know. I don't write the script, so
you don't.
No, if I did, it'd be a lot worse.
Yes, you did.
Come on, we both know. You'd like to say it'd be a lot better.
I thought that's what you did when you weren't here. You wrote scripts for Raw.
Oh man, I wish it'd be a lot worse. I know me.
Then it's the main event.
And let's see. Well, Cesaro and Sheamus retain, and of course there was another botch.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this.
Sheamus. Okay, at the very end. Apollo Crews, being very agile that he is and very high flying that he can, he frog leaps over Cesaro and lands his legs on Sheamus's shoulders, chest, and then I guess he was supposed to do a power bomb or something, but it landed it wrong and he fell on his neck.
I thought it was Titus who made the botch.
Titus, no, it wasn't Titus. It was Apollo Crews.
It was Apollo?
Yeah, it was Apollo.
Oh, okay.
So, and then they went for the white noise, the combined finisher white noise, and then they got it over with 1, 2, 3. Cesaro is still holding onto his neck. You can see, that's Cesaro. Sheamus still holding onto his neck.
So
Cesaro
confused. Looking
at him going like, are you okay? Are you okay? And he goes, yeah. You could see and they're still selling it like, yeah, we beat these guys. And he's like, oh, and he's like, this doesn't look good. So After that, they went on to the next main event time. John Cena versus Finn Balor. And this was for the third spot for the Elimination Chamber. Once again, John Cena wins.
This was the first time these two had ever faced off,
Yes.
I believe.
I was so pissed off at the end of this.
Quite disappointing.
I was too.
It was quite disappointing.
And for once,
and I like Cena.
And
Don't
the
get me
thing
wrong.
is, yeah,
I like Cena,
Mike
but,
is a
yeah,
diehard Cena fan
not a
since
diehard
day
Cena
one.
fan.
Well, more than we.
I like Cena, but I'm not. I wouldn't say
Okay,
diehard.
well, I'm saying you are a fan of Cena, not a diehard, but you are a fan. You always like his wrestling. You always like his matches, but it's just it's outdone, dude. It's I'm tired of this.
I'm not arguing with that. I just.
It's just over with.
I don't know. It was really disappointing to not see Finn Balor in
be
that
in the Elimination
position.
Chamber.
Because it's
Because it was that
I
one
almost
spot.
I almost feel like we're being like selfish at this point. Like we just got Nakamura to face Styles. It's like now we really want Balor to face Lesnar, and it's like we already got one. We can't have everything. But then my theory I was telling you earlier is that maybe Balor beats Lesnar before WrestleMania, and that'd be kind of cool. Balor versus Cena at WrestleMania again, or Balor versus Strowman for the universe. I don't know.
Well, the original plan was Vince. Well, not Vince, but the storyline was supposed to be Demon Balor versus Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble for the title. And then for some reason, Vince pulled it out and said, "No, I don't want to do this." So they switched it over.
I think they like the Balor Club being a 6-man tag, team. I think maybe they're
faction.
I think they're going to try to play that. Which
Well,
is
of course
a
they're going to try to play because what happens? They're trying to compete against New Japan with their Bullet Club.
shame. Yeah, it's.
That's all that is. It's just that's all that is. Just them trying to compete with them.
Anyway, Seth, it is time for your favorite moment of the show.
Is it the tweets?
It's the tweet spot.
Ooh, I love the tweets.
I'm just speaking for you that it's your favorite.
It is my favorite.
I don't know if it is. Hey, I'm gonna put the mics on mute. Should I unmute them after it's done?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We're gonna watch the tweet spot.
Okay.
All right, Seth, we are back. That's enough out of you, Dudley boys. Congratulations one more time.
Let's give it up for Devon.
Devon, congratulations. Hold on. Whoop. Clicked on the wrong thing. Congratulations, Devon, Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Wearing his ECW apparel tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. We appreciate that.
Well, they were in Philly tonight also. So
We appreciate the classic attire always on Ringside. Because we're just like the revival. We learn from the past. We like to talk about those.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of the past, Seth.
Yo.
This flawless segue. Would you like to know what happened this day in history in wrestling, in the world of pro wrestling?
On this day.
On this day,
I see clearly. What's
I
going
hope
on?
we never stop doing that.
We never
I
will.
love that. All right, so 23 years ago today, on a WCW It was WCW's main event. WCW, it can't be main event because that was WWE's thing. On a televised event for WCW, Conan, 23 years ago, defeated the one-man gang for the U.S. title.
Wow.
16 years ago today, Diamond Dallas Page defeated Christian for his only WWE title. He would win the European title on a SmackDown. 12 years ago today, it was the Royal Rumble from Miami. A couple of highlights from that show. Gregory Helms, he had since ditched the Hurricane gimmick, had won the Cruiserweight title. Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble match, setting the record for longest appearance in a single Rumble, over 62 minutes. Cena got his WWE title back from Edge, which Edge had cashed in a few weeks earlier for the first time ever a successful Money in the Bank. And that was that. 11 years ago today, it was Cena and HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, defeated team rated RKO for the tag team titles.
Wow.
I think rated RKO, which of course is
Edge
pretty obvious, is Edge and Randy Orton. Very short-lived tag team because one of them, or was it, if I'm mistaken, I think it was Jericho and Edge were supposed to have a tag team title run, and I think Jericho got hurt or Edge got hurt or something.
Edge got hurt. I think.
Jericho might have got hurt, and then so they just put him together with Randy Orton, and that's how they came up with rated RKO. I believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm an idiot if I'm wrong. 6 years ago today was the Royal Rumble in St. Louis. I remember this one pretty clearly. Sheamus won. Remember that one? They were hyping Jericho to win it.
Oh yeah,
like it was going to be Jericho's year that year, and then they tried to pull a switcheroo and had Sheamus win it.
Yeah.
Some other notes from that. Well, that was the main thing.
It was.
That was the main thing. I liked that Rumble. I thought that was a fun Rumble. I thought it was a surprise. Sheamus won. Sheamus was over at that time, but not as over as I think they thought he was. Like he was the
Irish John Cena.
The Irish John Cena at the time. So he was over, but not, he was, I remember at that time he had that whole Roman Reigns thing where he was more over with live crowds than with TV.
Yeah.
So he'd go to live shows and he'd just be the most popular guy in the building. And on TV, it was like, oh, it's Sheamus.
It's Sheamus. There you go.
3 years ago on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan defeated Kane in a casket match. That was only 3 years ago. Can you believe that?
Damn.
Daniel Bryan was wrestling 3 years ago.
I really hope that he's cleared. I'd like to see him one more match.
It seems like so long ago.
I know.
Since Daniel Bryan was wrestling.
I'd like to see him in just one more match.
It seems like eons ago. 2 years ago on an Impact taping, it featured, this is interesting, it featured EC3 and Rockstar Spud versus Matt Hardy and Cyrus in the main event. All men now gone from TNA. Cyrus, of course, can't get along with Jeff Jarrett. Cyrus, of course, is Brodus Clay. Matt Hardy in WWE. And EC3 is
WWE.
the new addition to NXT.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I thought they were going to bring him up to the main roster, but it's good they don't.
Yeah, because
I'll tell you why. Because there's so many wrestlers on the main roster right now. They're so bloated that he can be in NXT for a while.
Yeah.
Enjoy hanging out in Florida for a while. Well, TNA, he's already been hanging out in Florida. he probably didn't have to sell his condo or whatever he's living.
Yeah.
Rockstar Spud, I have no idea what's going on with him. I don't think he's in TNA anymore. Who knows?
Probably in the indie circuit.
I just want to let you know that was the main event. Right, Brodus Clay and Matt Hardy versus EC3 and Rockstar Spud. At that same time, in Pittsburgh, NXT was putting on a live event show. Would you like me to run down the card for the NXT show?
Do.
This is just 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
The same night, EC3 and Rockstar Spud faced Matt Hardy and Brodus Clay. The best TNA had to offer, because what they put on TV. This is what was going on in NXT during a live event. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson defeated Big Cass and Enzo Amore.
Wow.
That was the opening match.
Oh, my God.
Nia Jax defeated Carmella.
Well, that makes sense.
Elias, who was, of course, Elias Sampson at the time, R.I.P., his last name, defeated Ty Dillinger.
Okay.
Baron Corbin defeated Apollo Crews.
Okay, I see that.
Sami Zayn defeated Johnny Gargano. In a NXT Women's Championship match, Bayley defeated Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, this was the same night TNA was putting out Matt Hardy and Brodus Clay versus ETG.
Wow.
Gable and Jordan, Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, defeated Aiden English and Simon Gotch, the Vaudevillains.
So this is American Alpha defeated Vaudevillains.
Yeah.
All right.
And your main event
Oh, guys, better be good.
was Finn Balor defeating Samoa Joe.
Oh, my God.
Think about that. All of them in WWE now on the main
All of them.
roster.
Every one of them, especially even in TNA.
Except for Johnny Gargano, excuse me.
Yeah.
But Johnny Gargano, to his credit, he main evented the NXT TakeOver this past weekend.
He did.
So,
Didn't win, but, hey.
and of course, Simon Gotch is no longer in WWE, and neither is Enzo, but still. Could you imagine going to that show in Pittsburgh? I mean, you saw so many future stars in that one night.
When is Cass coming back, speaking of which? Jeez.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting when he comes back. I think he's got to come back as a face.
He has to now.
He has to now.
He has to now.
1 year ago, we were in San Antonio. Do you remember why we were in San Antonio a year ago, Seth?
Oh, yeah, because it was a Royal Rumble.
It was a Royal Rumble. We saw Randy Orton win. Which it was
the
one of
most
those things.
mediocre
I remember
ending ever.
He was one of the favorites, and we couldn't figure out why, because we were thinking, Randy Orton's not going to win this Rumble.
No, he was like,
it's going to be. It might be Finn Balor's surprising return, or somebody else. And then I'll never forget. You can see these. You can look up these videos online. They're pretty funny. Of Roman Reigns coming in at number 30.
Oh,
and just all these fans.
Everybody thought number 30 was going to be Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
That's what we all thought. 30 was going to be Samoa Joe. And then
or Finn Balor. I had
Finn
my
Balor.
hopes up for Finn.
And it didn't happen. Everybody, it was the
But
Alamo
at least
Dome.
Orton won.
Yeah,
I remember the fans. I remember the consensus was that we weren't cheering because Orton won. We were just cheering because Roman Reigns didn't win. Of course, that may have been Undertaker's last Royal Rumble appearance. Probably
so. He wasn't this year.
Goldberg's last Royal Rumble appearance. Anyway, Anderson and Gallows, Balor Club, they defeated the Bar in a dark match for the WWE Raw Tag Team titles that night. Isn't that crazy? They defeated them in a dark match for the tag titles.
The Bar became the champs.
So no, they defeated the Bar.
No, they defeated the Bar. Okay.
The Bar was still. They were still baby faces.
They were still faces. Yeah.
Neville defeated Swan that night. I remember that.
Yeah.
And that was the start of a very lengthy cruiserweight. I think he didn't lose it till like right before SummerSlam.
Right.
So
yeah.
it was
Lisa
like,
needs braces.
It was a good 4 or 5 month reign there, and of course Cena and Styles had the match of the year.
Yep.
You also may remember. It's pretty memorable. Kevin Owens defeated Roman Reigns to retain his Universal Championship
with Chris Jericho,
with Y2J in a cage.
In a shark cage.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to say a very happy birthday to one of our favorites, Hardcore Holly.
Ooh, Hardcore Holly, happy birthday.
Potentially Hall of Fame this year. We were talking about an Attitude Era star that needs to go in.
I could see him.
I could see Hardcore
What about
Holly.
Al Snow?
Oh yeah, he needs to go in.
Mm-hmm.
He really is.
Have you seen Al Snow now?
He
looks better. He looks better in shape.
I think he's still technically a TNA employee. I'm not sure.
I think so, but
I think so. Hey Seth, we're going to talk real quick about. We promised our viewers, because we didn't do one last week because we had technical issues. But we're going to talk about. We're going to crown something the greatest of all time, and tonight we're going to crown the greatest moment in Royal Rumble history. We're not going to talk about the greatest Rumble in history. We're going to talk about the greatest moment, because a lot of people considered the 1992 Rumble to be the one where Ric Flair won.
Yeah.
The greatest, and we're not going to argue with that.
Yeah.
And we may next year, when we get around to the Rumble again, we may crown that as the official.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think 2018 is going to get a run for its money, because that was an awesome.
Oh
intro.
wow! I was so I haven't felt that happy since CM Punk won the Money in the Bank in Chicago against John Cena.
So some potential Royal Rumble greatest moments. Jake the Snake making his return in 1996 to the Royal Rumble. You talked about this before we went on there. The surprise return of Diesel in 2011. That was incredible. That was a fun moment.
That was a fun moment.
Because, that was his first time back in WWE since he left to go to TNA. This might be my favorite. I don't know. The Three Faces of Foley in 98.
Oh, that was so good.
Where someone allowed Mick Foley to enter the Rumble 3 times. I don't know how he got away with that.
Because I also remember that Royal Rumble is the same one, I think, where Owen Hart was chasing after somebody from DX and he fell like behind the curtain when somebody else was coming in. It's the same Royal Rumble. I'm sorry. I know it's awkward.
98 is always going to be one of our favorites, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Lawler hides under the ring in 96. The 2001 Rumble had so many great moments, like Kane eliminating all those those wrestlers. And it coming down to Kane and Stone Cold. Stone Cold winning that Rumble was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good Rumble. Even had Drew Carey in it. Which is,
eliminated himself.
Vince winning the Rumble in 99, which nobody saw coming.
Not even us. We were just like...
We were shocked that Vince won it.
It was four guys in high school, or just out of high school, just watching this game, and we're just looking at each other going, did that just happen? No way. It was...
Bret Hart and Lex Luger tying to win in 94.
Oh, and they both go over the rope.
Yeah. And then Stone Cold winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles. 97, 98, yeah, okay. Of course, Shawn Michaels doing the same thing in 95, 96, I believe it was. John Cena making his surprise return in 2008. It's still one of their favorite moments to show, even though it makes you yawn. And then, of course, Ric Flair winning the WWE Championship in 92, way before Triple H did it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Ric Flair did it. So, so there we go. There's a lot to choose from. You got the Three Faces of Foley. You got Stone Cold
and of course,
winning it in 98. You got Vince winning it in 99. You got Stone Cold winning it in 2001.
And I do admit it. I will give it to you here. It is a physical feat, whatever you would call it, of John Cena. Was supposed to be out for almost a year, and then he comes back within, 6 months or so, or 4 to 6 months to the Royal Rumble as number... at Madison Square Garden. I will give it to him for that.
This moment's not going to make a lot of lists.
Yeah.
But I think, personally, and of course there was a lot of great returns like that throughout, like Triple H coming back after tearing his quadricep.
That was a really good one.
And then Edge coming back.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think one that's never talked about was the same one as the Diesel Rumble, 2011. Where it was the first ever, first and last, for good reason, 40-man Rumble, where everyone had thought Alberto Del Rio had won it, and then Santino popped up from underneath the ring apron.
Oh my God! For a split second,
for the fans just went nuts because we thought Santino was about to win it. That was such a fun moment. Even though the right man won.
The right man
ended up winning, but just for a moment there, it was so crazy. And
2 seconds of just fantasy. You're like, oh my God, they're going to let this happen. They're going to do this. Yeah. So yeah.
And then of course we can't forget about last night.
Shinsuke. Oh man, I showed you I'm not going to send it ever, but I showed him my real reaction of it, and yes, it was cringeworthy. But it was just honesty. It was just me going, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. He won. It's like
it's hard to pick. It really is hard to pick. I really think Santino ranks up there because that was such a fun moment that we didn't see coming. And I remember we were all sitting around watching that in 2011. And we were like, where's Santino? Did he get eliminated? He must have got eliminated.
Yeah.
And then he just pops up. And it was such a great spot. It was such a little bonus.
I know. And he had a snake in there, his cobra, everything.
It's hard to vote against that one, but I feel like we would be we would be hunted down if we picked that one as the best.
All I'm saying is this is the one Royal Rumble that they got it right, and it was last night. It was 2018.
I just want to say
finally did
one
it right.
thing that this one I forgot about, and this may be the winner. In the 1990 Rumble, where Hogan and Warrior eliminated everybody, and it just came down between those
And
two.
they just eyed
and
each
they
other.
just stared at each other
Stare
down.
down.
And it was just like that was the first time they had ever crossed paths.
They crossed
really.
paths ever, even whether they were a
It's
tag team
hard
or whatever.
to choose one, Seth.
I'm going to go with.
You go with it.
I'm going to go with Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
All right. Well, I'll agree with you because
Hogan and
there's so
Warrior.
many. There's so many to choose from. Hogan Warrior in 1990.
That's like for later on. That's like Rock and Stone Cold, or like for today.
We'll
that
probably
would be like
regret this later, but that's going to be our pick.
that's going to be our
right
pick right now. Yeah.
It's hard to choose from, but Santino. I remember that being such a. Everybody in the crowd was
just
going
like,
crazy.
oh my God, this is good.
Santino's gonna do it.
He's going to do it. And then
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio puts him in reality.
Well, like we said, the right person won.
the right
but,
person won.
We just want to thank everybody for watching. This has been a Hot Air production.
Yeah.
You can see us again or see me again. You can see us again next Monday.
Yeah, we'll be back next Monday with a new episode and
you
everything.
can see me again on the iRadio Waco network on Wednesday for my show. We're going to have a fun time there. And then Friday nights, a couple of cool things going on Friday night. Leonard Zelkin's coming back with his conservative right-wing show. It's a call-in show. We're going to have a Friday night call-in show. It's going to be Operation Take Back America with Leonard Zelkin. And you guys should enjoy that. And following that, we have a new show.
A new show.
On the Hot Air Network. It's a video game review show. Sanchez and Brian have been hard at work this past week trying to finish up this video game. It's funny. They were supposed to come out to my comedy show last night.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I was talking to Sanchez later and he goes, I had to finish this game. They're taking this very seriously.
I hope so.
They're going to get this review in.
Sanchez and all them guys, bring it. Please do, because when it comes to podcasts, especially for gaming and stuff, it's just like you're actually. Some people just like, well, I don't like it because of the art. I don't like it because it doesn't have this in it. But if you play the game and you're really into it, and you've been gaming your whole life, yes.
Well,
more the merrier. This is awesome.
They're working hard on that.
Good.
So that's going to be this Friday night. And then, of course, there's other shows on it. We got so many shows. We're starting to blow up a little. We got In Your House Sports. We got the Nerd Cave. Whatever in the world the weekly yak is.
The yak, the weekly yak.
Can you see that on your?
I don't know. I can see it right here.
On your camera,
yak.
I'm just like behind you on the camera. I don't know.
The yak.
We don't know what that is.
We don't know either.
Anyway, that's going to do it for